So, hello guys, hello everybody. Welcome to the first Abraxas podcast. We have with us John
Hi.
and Dave.
Hello.
I think this is our first podcast. We are still getting more familiar with the whole concept. I think that our channel will have a lot of interesting videos in store and also lot of interesting topics that we want to discuss in general, but in today's video as well, or today's podcast as well. But first, can everybody introduce themselves in like a minute or so? What do you guys do? What do you guys do for a living? John, can you start, please?
Okay. So right now I'm a real estate agent in Budapest.
Nice.
Uh, uh, Actually, I mostly work in the inner city. I'm mostly working with flats, apartments. Uh, we just sold this house where I am. This is my family's house, and we sold it a few weeks ago. So
Cool.
uh, yeah, it's a really big. This is my biggest sale. What I did. So yeah, I'm a real estate agent. We know each other from high school. Uh, uh, I studied Hungarian literature at university. So now I'm a very different field, but I'm trying different things in life, and I hope I will find the best for me. I also like to make videos, films. One time I wanted to be a director. Maybe in the future I will. And this vlog and podcast and the whole channel is a good opportunity to make videos and films. So yeah, that's
I mean,
it.
that's super cool. And of course, what you said already is, like changing careers is something that, I think later we will talk about it in more detail, because that's something that's really interests us. Dave, what about you?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is David, and I'm currently living in Portugal in Lisbon. I'm doing my master's in business analytics, and the whole idea that we are doing this channel and podcast and everything, the whole ecosystem, I would say, was after the fact that I realized that I don't really enjoy what I'm studying right now, and I don't really enjoyed what I was doing before. So it was like um, kind of scary moments. Like after kind of like a lot of scary moments, I came up with the fact that okay, maybe we should just like document the whole journey and the adventure that we're trying to find our passion and um, the careers that we want to pursue in life. So yeah, about me personally, I don't know. I have a sister.
Whatever you
I'm
feel
20.
important.
I'm 25. Um, and yeah, based on like personal interests, um, like the whole channel, it's we're gonna talk about that later more, but it's like the culture and the business parts, um, and these two maybe combined in a in a humanly close part. I would say that's what interests me the most.
Yeah. I 100% agree with what you said, that, collecting this, or like this human bond, and, also showcasing like, our, experiences together, and then sharing that with the world. I think that's also like super important. And just a few words about me as well. That of course, I'm George. I'm also living in Budapest. I work at a telco company. I'm doing like product owner related tasks. But just to recap and make sure that everybody can understand it clearly. We went to the same high school, so that's how our whole friendship grew. Then we went to, of course, different universities. Studied different things in life, but of course, we stayed close as friends. And now. we are at a part where we think it's important to do something together, and this was our idea to come up with. So I'm really excited to see what the future will bring. Of course, it's also important to mention the title, why we choose Abraxas. Dave, could you please elaborate on that?
Okay. I mean, one part of it, I feel like it was quite random. Um, but I already had this like this symbol of Abraxas. I already had that in mind because recently I've been reading quite a lot about like psychology and Carl Jung's work as well, and he wrote about Abraxas, which was back in the days. It was like a Gnostic symbol,
Sorry,
and
can you explain just in a bit of detail who Carl Jung is? Because probably not everybody knows it. That includes me, by the way.
he's an Austrian. Um, I think he's a neurologist, but maybe also like a psychiatrist. But the thing is that he's dealing a lot with psyche. That's the important part. And Yeah, and he were writing a lot about like this dualism in
I
life.
I don't hear you right
He
now.
also wrote about how it's represented when it comes to like our conscious and unconscious mind, also as like the good and the evil, and the rational and the irrational, and all these like um, huge extremes in life. There is something that's like above and beyond the whole thing, and it's yeah, back in the days, the Gnostic people call this like Abraxas, which was like the god of God, where it's like which encompasses the God, the good and the evil as well. And I felt like, okay, I don't know how much depth we want to go into this, but I felt like
We
that
have
it's
time,
not
of
just
course. It's important to talk about our whole name. So
and then it was also a movement that was called in the ancient times via negativa, which was about that whatever you can tell what God is not that. So if you can say that God is huge, God is not huge. If you say God is small, God is not small. God is God. And then I was reading quite a lot about this as well, and I also realized that I was agreeing with the fact that it's not. It's also us who are not supposed to be labeled with something. So if I say that John, you are dumb, you're not dumb, you're John. So I think that these kind of like labels can stigmatize people, and like it's it can freeze them in a certain uh, like psychological phase they are in. So um, this was also like a part of it because it correlates to the whole Gnostic Abraxas symbol as well, which was like, I think it's obvious, like it's both things are talking about the fact that it's you cannot really um, say like hard coded facts about people or like life itself. And then it's not about the name anymore, but what I really like wanted to do this, or like what I really enjoy about doing this with you guys is um yeah, okay, maybe that's for the name, because that
okay,
was a
but
question.
one
So
thing I don't think you have covered yet is how do you think this name connects with that? So I think you have explained the what Abraxas is, but how do we make it personal? So where's the good or where's the bad in us, so to say?
yeah, that's the thing, like it's I feel like it's sort of in everyone in life, but I can like I tend to feel that whenever we are doing something together, it's the sort of the good and the evil when when it emerge in a situation, it's kind of on the same level. So it's these kind of extremes. I feel like I quite similar when it comes to our like the three of us,
Three of
like
us, yeah.
the personality of three of us. I think this is like I think we are really really different in quite a lot of things, but when it comes to these um, extremes in life, maybe I think that's a similarity.
I mean, that indeed makes a ton of sense, and I think this name really fits us very well, because of course we are also starting out, and then we have a lot to learn, but this is a good common ground that we can all start on. Obviously, having YouTube channels or podcast is just one thing. We also want to fill it with content. We have many different goals for that content. We want to we want to cover different topics, both regarding culture and business. Uh, John, what do you think about covering the culture aspect of the whole thing?
Um, so good question. We have, I think we have a few things in common in culture. Like my parents uh, work as directors, like exhibition directors, and we have a lot of contemporary paintings. And Mihaifi's family also has a lot of paintings, but like 100 years earlier. And so we both like culture. We both, I think, three of us like to go exhibitions, uh, theater, and we know each other for 10 years. And we went to the same high school, and we just have a lot of things common. Like we uh, lived at the same neighborhood. So I think our
Yeah, I
interest
mean,
actually is kind of similar.
yeah. I mean, to be honest, we were all fortunate enough to be able to grow up around art, and art from different period. Of course, I'm not talking about just the art we had in our homes, because everybody has paintings. But when we went to the high school or secondary school, like trips to museums were also super common. And for example, I can only speak for myself, but my parents have always, forced me to go to museums. And of course, at that time I was not super happy about it, but in retrospect I really appreciate that I was really brought to a lot of museum. I think one personal experience I have, for example, is when we went to France and to see the Louvre, the one
Mm.
where they have the Mona Lisa. I cannot pronounce French words, so the big fancy museum. And I think at the time I was really not appreciating that much. I think it was seventh grade, I believe, or something around that. I really wanted to play video games and then chill on my phone and stuff. But in retrospect, I'm really grateful that I was able to like see not the Mona Lisa, because I still think that's disappointing, but many other great object of art in the museum itself. And I think it's important that to share the appreciation for fine arts. I think John and I are really interested in contemporary art, but it's really good balance in our group, since Dave has a different perspective than us.
Mm.
So I think that we will get a lot of interesting takes on what are we
Yeah.
showcasing or seeing.
Mm. Did you know about
Interesting.
Mona Lisa?
I actually saw Mona Lisa at almost like seventh grade, but we haven't know each other yet then. And it was like behind the glass, I think, and it was a lot of people, so I couldn't really see the picture itself, so I can't decide it's good or not because I see better on my phone or on my screen. In the museum, it was impossible to really watch it. So yeah,
Did you
I
know
haven't known.
about Did you
So
know
it
about Mona Lisa? That it's if I'm not if I remember correctly, because I think it was also when I was in seventh grade when I saw it. Um, for me right now, it's quite laggy.
who
Like John mostly, actually.
really
Yeah,
interesting.
like I can hear you laughing, and like in 10 seconds, I can see you laughing as well. Not just hear you. Anyways,
I mean, as long as the audio is fine, don't worry about the video because that's being uploaded separately anyway. So as long as the
yeah,
audio
true.
is fine, don't worry.
Yeah, I just read it somewhere that they made it even more valuable. I mean, the Mona Lisa itself, with the fact that they put in a huge room where only Mona Lisa is there, and also the wall is like a huge ass, really like big wall, and there's just one painting on that, and that's the Mona Lisa. And then when you step into it, you already get the feeling that it's like, wow, this has to be like really fucking valuable, because um like space in life, it's like a so scarce resource that if you have a lot of it, then it means that you are wealthy. And like the fact that they put in a huge ass fucking wall, like compared to like a small painting, then it means that it has to be valuable.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you mean that, it's important enough that, you don't have to put like smaller paintings around it or anything. It's just enough for a whole wall. And, if you go into museums, like I think a really good example is the National Gallery here in Budapest. It's quite a small gallery and it's usually super crowded. And then both in terms of people and both in terms of painting as well. And then let's say that you go in and then, there is a wall, you see like 10, 15
Yeah.
paintings on one single wall, plus the description, of course, and
Yeah.
some small details about the painting itself. And then, that's in stark contrast compared to like the Mona Lisa, as you described, that, you go in, there is a big wall, and there is one, by the way, quite small painting, since the Mona Lisa is quite small, in the middle of it. So that's really, really a good comparison you just said. Dave, what are you doing with your face?
I don't know, man.
But I think culture is not the only aspect, where we want to make content. I think we are also interested in business side. They want to take that part away.
Dave, what are you doing?
So, well, take the part away, bro. I already took shit ton of part. Right now, everything is freezing. Why are you here?
Yeah,
Okay,
you are free.
like the business side. Yeah, of course, I can take that away. Um, give me the business. I don't know. It's like
Yeah, I cannot give it to you. I just really, I think that
You have to
I
make it.
think we are also
wow.
interested in showcasing different jobs, since of course, we are still in the beginning or the early stage of our careers, and not the three of us are really sure that what is we want to do as a job. But I think that we find it super important to find something that we not just tolerate, but like actually love, and can do it for a long time. And that's why in our YouTube channel we will also focus on content which shows how different jobs, what do the people do in different roles, what is the daily life of somebody working in construction, for example. We also want to focus on the financial aspect to some reason, to some extent. So I think that we really I think it's an interesting topic, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It is absolutely. Um,
So I think,
yeah. So
go.
yeah, I don't know. It's like as far as the so we were thinking about the similarities or like the common grounds we have, and I think yeah, like culture and like the like okay, let me give you another quote from Sigmund Freud. So he said that life is Leben und Arbeiten, which means that it's love and work. And I feel like that if you get like the love part and the work parts right in life, then you're quite like um, up to something, or like you're you're not how do they say it in English? You're not settled, but like you're in a good path. Anyways, and like as far as the Arbeiten part, it's yeah, it was also a similarity I think for all three of us, that it's being 25, coming from a quite normal, I don't know, Hungarian family. Um,
24. Please don't make me
20
older than I
20
am.
sorry, 24, 25. Yeah. It's not the most straightforward thing. Also, just because of the times, or like the era that we live in, I feel like, because back in the days, for example, for our parents and our grandparents, they only had the opportunity to become I don't know, I either become an engineer or like a lawyer, or I mean that was like, you know, all these like um like typical white collar jobs, and then you also had the typical blue collar jobs if you either wanted to do that, or that was the only possible, like the only option for you to do that. But I feel like that as for us, for like Gen Z, it's much more difficult, and it's also like a shit ton of new opportunity that we get, but it's a lot of like um sacrifices as well, I would say, or like trade-offs. I don't know how do you say that.
What do
Like
you mean
you
exactly?
what I mean is that if you, for example, we are doing this podcast right now, so now you cannot pursue a career while you are doing a podcast in space astronauts. I don't
I'm not sure where you're getting it.
know. I'm getting that we have a lot more opportunities
Oh,
in
yeah,
our
that's true.
life, but with these kind of opportunities, there are a lot of like trade-offs are coming as well.
Yeah, it's really, about you cannot have it all, right? So you either do
Yeah,
one thing and then you focus your efforts and your time on that one specific thing, but then you miss out on being 10 other kind of professional. And
yeah,
just
exactly.
to add to this whole discussion, just from a bit another perspective, I really talk a lot to my grandparents, of course, and I also often ask about them, like jobs and how did they relate to their work
Hmm.
life. And for example, in the case of my grandfather, he was a blue collar worker. He was working in a factory at different roles. And when I say different roles, I mean that in his 40 years he worked at one factory, and then maybe he had three different jobs in that factory, right? So once he was working next to the CNC machines, next time he was guarding a gate. So it was really like small incremental changes that occur to him. And for us, I think for this generation, we are really taught at university, for example, about the concept of job hopping, that you have to change job at least every 3 years to to get a better salary and everything. But now I hear people say that even after 1.5 year you should change. And I think this whole process is speeding up, and that it's also a lot more like a lot worrisome, right? That you don't have that kind of job security that our grandparents had. That if even like our grandparents, even in like socialist Hungary, they had all the job security, right? They always got a job. The state was always like giving them something, so they never had to worry about being jobless or not earning enough. But I think for us it's really different, because there are also studies showing that, in, I don't know, whatever, 50 years, 60% of the jobs we have right now will be dead or obsolete. And of course, new jobs will be created. But this paradigm shift that is happening, that, everything is speeding up as we speak. And then, I think it really gives us a bit of anxiety that, what we will do in 5 years, what we will do in 10 years. Will our skills be enough? Will our knowledge be enough? And I think that's why we really want to focus on this business aspect as well, to showcase as many professions as possible, and then make sure that, both us and everybody who's watching, so that's you guys, can make an informed decision, when the time comes to job hop, or just, what you do is replaced by AIs, or, whatever is happening. So I think this is a really important aspect, both socially, and I think it really aligns with our interests.
What a comeback, bro. This,
Come back from where?
it's like we took a bit of a detour, like then you just framed it back to the starting point where the question was that like how business is related to the channel,
Ah,
and
ah,
that's how.
it's showman, man. So you have to be in the
Right.
showman, high energy. So I think that really ties. We already spoke a bit about motivation, and that really ties into our motivation in general. Uh, and I think I already talked about it a bit. That this is figuring out and finding different jobs, and it's really an important area for me to see in more details. Can you guys share a bit about your motivation as well?
Okay. So my motivation in making videos, podcasts, and blogging is not just about knowing jobs and experiencing uh, mm, other professions. Mm, I'm really like to make videos. Uh, I think I will be, and I am the cameraman in our vlog, and I like this from like I was 8 years old when I got my first camera, and I really liked doing this, and also I like editing videos. So one thing is what you said, I want to experience a lot of jobs and businesses, and I want to spend time with you. But also, I'm really enjoying doing videos. I just enjoy it, and it's a good opportunity for me to make these videos with you. What? What's
How
up?
do you do that?
I don't
There
know,
is
bro. I
someone
think
sending like bubbles.
yeah, but
What?
it's not on purpose. What if I
I
say
also want to
it's
send a like bubble.
this like ah? We can
Is
do
it, is
like
it like an Apple thing, or is it inside the app we are using? It's not working for me.
do you
Anyway,
know
sorry, John.
do you know what like back in the like the Roman during the Roman Empire when they had these gladiator fights, and then they could decide like if they wanted to keep the guy or
Uh,
kill the guy.
and you said this to my
Yeah.
friends. Okay, thank you.
It's not a safe environment, apparently. Dave wants you dead.
No,
That's your
I'm more
safe
angry
place, bro.
because I'm worrying about I can't express myself properly because of the English language. But now Dave just said I'm really good. So thank you, Dave. Now I'm more brave.
How did I say that?
Like this.
He's being
No, bro.
sarcastic.
Yeah. Okay, go on,
Anyway,
go
John,
on.
finish your thought. I'm sorry that we are interrupted you.
Actually, that's all I wanted to say. I'm really enjoying making videos. Dave is just laughing.
Uh,
Bro, everyone is laughing. 'Cause it's fun.
I mean, it's really funny that usually like you sit back on the chair, and then when you have to talk, you come closer. You are like like a person who is like, okay, I was asked, I might make a
Oh,
comment, and then you are not like
John,
sitting in a fixed position, but it's like John, yes, and then you are making this weird change every time you talk. So
he's such an 80 years old, bro. He's such an 80-year-old. He's like an 80-year-old, but he's like he was like how to say that, like a 25-year-old in the body of an 80-year-old. I feel like sometimes.
there's like a weird mix happening, right? That when it comes to drinking, he can drink as much as a 25-year-old, but when it comes to some stuff, he's like, "Oh no, what's happening? Where is my MacBook?" So there are like different personalities of John like colliding into each other into a perfect harmony. By the way, so super glad that you are here.
I don't know.
Abraxas.
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 Abraxas. Abraxas. Okay, yeah. So you said that you're the cameraman and you enjoy making like movies just in general.
Yeah.
Um, what else? What you're interested in, or like?
Uh, we talked about that the subjects what we want to uh, uh, make. So like business and culture, but I think we don't have a concrete subject really. But it's so hard when you're laughing. Like
Bro, and it's so hard not to laugh, you know? Both sides are fucking difficult thing to do.
But John, you have to understand that it's not regarding your English or anything like that. It's just a way you are expressing yourself. It's
yeah,
funny
but
in general. It's not the language
they,
barrier.
but it's the language because I have to think hardly and like really weird because I'm really trying speak English what you
uh,
can
Okay,
understand.
now we have
bro.
lost John altogether. That's it. He got angry at us.
It's
Ah, John,
like,
you're back.
I don't
no,
know.
that's what I'm saying. He keeps like freezing for me as well.
You too.
It's a good
No,
music
but I
band.
mean, the audio has been fine for me, but now it's even that one is a bit laggy. But let's soldier on. These are minor
What a bitch.
details. So, Dave, anything you want to add to this topic?
But he didn't finish, man.
But I can't finish, but because you will laugh at me, so
I don't
No,
have
but
the
like
capacity.
I don't have the capacity, bro. Just gather
so I
your
just wanted
thoughts, maybe. And yeah.
my motivation. I just wanted to say that we are really good friends, and I think we have good energy, and like we are working together and speaking,
Hello,
and
John.
I just want to show this to people. Like I think it's a good thing, uh, and yeah, something like this. I don't know if you can understand what I'm trying to say.
I mean, main problem at the moment seems to be your connection, not the general thought you are trying to convey. So that that's an error we have not expected. So
I don't know. My Wi-Fi is working, so I don't know what's the problem.
it's the MacBook. It must be the MacBook.
Yeah, must be the MacBook.
I
The
mean,
vice
I will take
president.
a. I will take away in the meantime to talk about this topic as well.
My camera is the best, I think. But yeah, it's I have a MacBook with a better camera than you.
The fuck is
Doesn't matter. Go on.
what are you talking about?
Everybody has a MacBook. The fuck are you on about?
But my camera is better.
No,
It's like,
the reason why you say that is because you can see yourself in a better resolution, but
yeah,
it's just
maybe.
because all the others are streaming. I can
My
see
camera
myself
Yeah.
is
better than I can see you too. Yeah, your camera is the best, man.
mine is better.
Okay, Jesus Christ, let's go somewhere. I don't know.
Anyway, fine. Okay, so just finish off this motivation topic before we move on to our format and our future plans, because I think that's something we still haven't covered. I will be quick on this whole motivation thing. I think I have already discussed it in regard of job, that like as we change jobs, I'm interested in learn more about different professions to be able to choose more accurately when the time comes, and also of course sharing the whole journey. We had many attempts at trying to make a YouTube channel before. I think we had videos in England. I think there was one video in the Netherlands. I think we all had like Minecraft YouTube channels when we were kids growing up. So I think there have been many attempts, but this is another one to finally make it stick and make it a long-term thing.
I never had Minecraft channel, but okay.
I was talking in general term, but you get my point.
Yeah, a lot of times I feel like we have quite common like similarities with like two of us, but then all these similarities change, like switch between the two people I'm looking at. So I think there are a lot of things that you guys, like George and John, you have in common that I don't really share. And then we also have like with John, and then we also have like me and George. So it's like, for example, this whole like video gaming stuff, it's more like for George and me. Um, and then I don't know. You tell what you have in common that I don't have.
Maybe the
The
regards the art.
contemporary arts, yeah, that
Yeah, the
was for
contemporary art is
example,
definitely one thing. Yeah.
yeah, that's more for John and George, and not for me. So
But I think you will
yeah,
love it. I
yeah,
mean, if
it's an interesting mixture.
Yeah, I mean, 100% agree. Let's move on and talk about our future plans. What kind of videos in concrete details? When do we want to make podcasts and then stuff like that? I think, as podcast, we are planning it to be a regular thing and, try to make it at least once a week. Record something about us talking every Sunday or every weekend,
Yeah, that's nice.
as we have time. As we discussed, we are also planning to make actual videos displaying subjects and covering topics. I think they will be more random since they are more harder to shoot, and of course they take a long time to edit. So can you give us, John, a sneak peek about that first video?
I'm trying. Actually, as I said earlier, I thought that Premiere Pro is working like yeah, it's saving automatically, like every minute, because Final Cut Pro does this, but Premiere Pro not. So I lost a lot of editing because of an error, like 9 hours of editing. So, but I can show you something
No,
like
I mean just verbally, like just like like tease the video.
verbally.
Yeah,
I
just
can
say a
like,
few words about it right now.
what?
Say a few words about it right now.
Oh, okay. So I don't think it will be professional because it's our first, and we have to learn a lot of things.
Not the best
I
promo. I mean, this is
realized
not what I'm expecting. John,
it,
sell it. Sell it. Be a
no,
salesman. That's
it,
not how you start a
we,
sales campaign.
we have to be honest. I I I, I didn't said it will be bad. I just said not professional, but I think it will be very funny. Um so we still have to learn a lot of things, but
Of course.
we have a lot of funny scenes. Like for example, we are starting with a bachelor party. We went with George to Madrid, and after that we flight to Lisbon to meet Dave. And it's like some. I just put some footages like we are partying, and you were just singing like really badly at the karaoke bar. And the next footage you are singing. The next footage is like you are on the metro, and almost sleep because we went to the airport like 0 hours of sleep, and you were like, ah, like it's really funny. uh,
Yeah, I haven't seen anything so far, by the way. So this is the first time I'm hearing it, but it sounds very interesting.
yeah, it will be good. It will be good. Yeah, you have to watch it.
Okay, and Dave, can you give us a teaser about the company or the factory we went to?
Yeah, so when this whole thing came up, I was thinking about like, okay, you guys are coming, and what would be the like a really fun thing to do that we wouldn't do otherwise if we were not like recording or like starting this whole video career path in our life. Then I came up that it would be fun to record some kind of manufacturing or like a factory that we have here in Portugal. And then I was also thinking about like what's like a typical Portuguese thing they have here that could be like interesting to show for the viewers. And yeah, so then I came up with a surf factory, and I reached out to actually I already reached out to this one particular one because he after like 5 minutes after like I sent the email, he 5 minutes later he came back and like he was like, yeah, let's go. He was down. He's down to shoot the video. So it's about a Portuguese um like 100% Portuguese um surf factory that's like south from Porto. It's like 30 kilometers, I think, and they create surfboards for like quite well-known brands. Um, I'm not sure how much we can like mention here, but um, I don't know, like famous
I think
German.
they had projects with like famous surfers. They had a lot of collaborations with like famous company. Should it be like alcohol or should it be like just a TV channel or something? So they are really collaborating with everywhere you can imagine a surfboard is. So they are really like helping the biggest brands. I think that's safe to say.
Yeah, yeah. So that the video is going to it's trying to showcase the process of creating a surfboard, but also like incorporating the motivation behind, because these kind of professions I think they really require to be passionate about. Wow, that's you, bro, in 3 days.
It's just
It's just like a common background for everyone.
Cool addition, yeah.
Yeah. So it's I think we captured a really nice moment when the founder was speaking about his motivation behind the whole thing, and I think that's so. This is an interesting part for us as well. That like going back to the idea that we also trying to find our passion and the purpose of life, like what we try to do here. It's really nice, I think, to find people who already found that, and then it's not just inspirational for us, I think, but it's also a nice content to watch for like basically anyone who is interested in finding this in life. So it's some sort of like educational but still entertaining.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
100% agree with
yeah,
you. I think the links for our YouTube channel will be in the description, of course, as well as the rest of our social media. So you can definitely like click on it to see the video or subscribe and wait for the video. Depends on when you're watching it. And just a quick closing thought before we end our first podcast is that thanks everybody for tuning in. This is of course a new genre for us as well, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.
bye.
hi, see you guys.
See you.
That was a